Hey everybody, Matumbo here, welcome back to the channel, and today we are playing some more Historic here on Magic Arena. And today we have a deck archetype that we come back to quite often because a lot of people seem to like playing this type of deck. And with the new set dropping, the Zendikar Rising, we got some pretty cool new toys to play with in this deck. So I'm pretty excited to revisit this and see how this plays out. But real quick, as always, before we hop into today's deck, would like to just remind everybody real quickly that if you enjoy the video and the channel, please hit that subscribe button, that like button. Please check out all the cool links down in the description below and join the Discord. And can't stress that enough. It's been an amazing run. We're continuing to grow. It's so awesome. And with that being said, we have a new patron. So thank you so much to Gangsta Chicken. You are amazing. Gangsta Chicken, thanks again so much for joining the patron and joining the Discord. So let's hop right into today's deck. We are playing Forsaken Engine. So Forsaken Engine, this is again a colorless deck that revolves around trying to get out really broken cards like Ugin and Ulamog. But we're going to do some hopefully pretty crazy things with these two cards. Let's look at what really makes this deck ramp even a little bit faster now, thanks to Zendikar Rising. First off, we have Forsaken Monument. So Forsaken Monument, this cool new 5-mana artifact, it says colorless creatures you control get +2/+2. Well, we're not really too concerned about that. Yes, it does pump up our Palladium Mirror, and it does pump up the tokens that we're generating off of Ugin, but we don't really care about this ability that much. What we care about are the next two abilities. Whenever you tap a permanent for colorless, we get to add an additional colorless mana. Or whenever we cast a colorless spell, we gain 2 life. So since we are colorless, all of our lands actually produce colorless mana. So essentially this is going to turn all of our lands into where we tap each one for 2 mana, and our Mind Stones are going to tap for 2 mana, and our Hedron Archives are going to tap for 3 mana. So that is pretty bonkers. And if we start going crazy and casting a lot of spells in one turn, we're going to gain 2 life every time we cast a spell. So if we're playing against aggro decks, burn decks, just stuff like that, we're going to hopefully just get out of range of burn. And even if we can't necessarily kill them or make them, want to concede, we're going to put ourselves out of range, and we're going to buy us, another turn, another 2-3 turns. And so that's just going to increase the probability that we're going to win the game. So this card is pretty cool, and on top of it, it has a really sweet animation when it comes into play. So looking forward to showing that off. The other card in the namesake of this deck, and the other card from Zendikar Rising that we're going to show off, is Lithiform Engine. So this is a 4-mana artifact that has 3 cool abilities. So first off, we have 2 mana and tap it, copy target activated or triggered ability you control. 3 mana, tap it, copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. Not really going to use that one. Or for 4 mana and tap it, copy target permanent spell you control. The copy becomes a token. So I do want to point out real quick, in case you're not familiar with the rules here, the bottom ability, the 4 mana and tap to copy a permanent spell, this does not just copy a permanent that we have on the board. You actually have to be casting a spell that is on the stack to copy. So, we go to cast, Mind Stone for 2 mana, then we pay 4 mana while Mind Stone is still being cast to make a copy of the Mind Stone. That's how that works. We can't just tap it and copy something that's already on the board. So we are going to be looking at copy targeted, activated, or triggered abilities. So if you're not familiar with that, an activated ability is something that you pay for, and a triggered ability is something that happens when something else happens. So for example, Mind Stone, the one mana tap sacrifice Mind Stone to draw a card, that is an activated ability that we could potentially copy. A triggered ability that we could copy would be casting Ulamog and having Ulamog, whenever you cast Ulamog, exile 2 permanents. So that's a triggered ability that we actually could potentially copy, and we're hoping to do crazy things like that in this deck. So these are the 2 cards that are making this deck up. Again, we are trying to do crazy ramp shenanigans in order to get to Ugin and Ulamog as quickly as possible. So how are we doing that? Well, we have 3 copies of Maze Mind Tomes. Again, this is really for the scry and the card draw. This just lets us go through our deck really quickly to get to those ramp cards that we need to actually get to fast, or to get to the payoff cards that we want. So we have 4 copies of Mind Stone. It's a 2-mana ramp spell. We have 4 copies of Palladium Mirror. Again, this is a 3-mana 2/2. Taps to add 2 colorless mana. Really, really good. It's really susceptible to removal spells, but if this goes unchecked, this is a huge ramp. I mean, an extra 2 colorless is crazy. Hedron Archive, same thing. Hedron Archive taps for 2 mana. You can sack it later on in the game to draw 2 cards, which can get you out of a bind. But this ramp is really important. We have 3 copies of Karn, the Great Creator. So we are playing crazy cards on our sideboard that we can go get. Not really going to hit up on those. It's pretty just standard what artifact card you put in your sideboard. But Karn is going to help us do that. Now, Mystic Forge, this is a 4-mana artifact that says you can look at the top card of your library at any time. You can cast artifact spells and colorless spells from the top of your library. And if maybe we hit a land and we want to keep digging, we can tap it and pay a life to exile the top card of our library. So this card is really going to come into play again with the fact that we're going to be able to tap for a bunch of mana with Forsaken Monument and with Ugin the Ineffable. 6 mana, colorless spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. So if we have Mystic Forge in play with Ugin in play, everything on the top of our deck is going to be super cheap. Mind Stones are free, Maze Mind Tomes are free, the Mirror is 1 mana, Archive is 2 mana. This is essentially free because it taps for 2 mana. Karn is 2. I mean, you get the idea. Even Ulamog drops to 8 mana, and this Ugin drops to 6 mana. So you can just see how crazy that could just go. In one turn, we could just go through most of our deck because we're just going to be going and going and going. Everything's going to be almost free. And hopefully, when we have this Forsaken Monument, we can tap for so much mana. We'll be able to do crazy shenanigans with Ulamog, Lithiform Engine, and just to see if we can get our opponents to scoop. So that's the deck. We are running it out with 24 lands, 4 arches, 4 blast zones, 4 of the new Crawling Barrens. This can potentially grow into a creature that could be essentially too big to kill because we could tap for so much mana. We have 4 Mobilized Districts, 4 Radiant Fountains for life gains, and 4 Zhalfirin Voids for the Scry abilities. So let's hop into today's deck and get into the gameplay and see if we can just ramp out some Ugins and Ulamogs. So see you guys at the wrap up. Colorless does whatever Colorless does. Oh, bad Spider-Man parodies. Let's just get some crazy draws with this deck and see what it can do. Let's race out Ugin, Ulamog, all the things. Let's get a pairing for, there we go. There we go, my friends. Tellurio 71. All right, we're going to keep this. This void will help us get to a payoff. All right, let's do it to it. Well, we're gonna keep it. We're gonna go for it. We are gonna go for it. Blossoming Sands. All right. Next turn we get to Hedron Archive and Mind Stone, and then the following turn we get to hopefully go crazy. All right. Okay, so we're playing against an enchantment deck. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. I hope our deck's fast enough. 7 mana. Next turn we're gonna have a lot of mana. What is this thing? You may reveal an aura card from among them, put it in your hand, put the rest on the bottom. Whenever an aura becomes attached to a creature. Okay. Okay. Alright, alright. Got 1 mana left over. 2, 4, 6, 8. I mean, I don't see why we wouldn't do this. Oh, okay. All the Ulamogs. Even if we don't sack that, we can't cast Ulamog next turn, so fine either way. And then even if they do this, it doesn't even really matter. Go colorless, right? No, no, it becomes green. Sure, you've elked us. This at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Making humans, doing the thing. Making copies. Hello, my friend. Hello. Alrighty. Ulamog. I have a feeling they have a way to get rid of it. As long as it's not Ixalan's binding, we are good. We're not going to draw yet. Don't really necessarily... Okay, there we go. Don't really need to. But that was some great ramping. Alright, game 2. You know what to do. Let's hydrate. Oh, man. Oof. No, no, no. No ramp in that hand. This is an alright hand. Not the best. Some decks actually play Radiant Fountain that are not just all colorless, so we're gonna start off with that. Don't want another land here. Chamber Guardian. Okay. Well, Mirror got here, or the Mind Stone got here right on time. Don't want another Mind Stone. Really just don't want to see a stomp, right? Oh. Go ahead and adapt. I almost said mutate. Still kind of looks like it has been mutated. It's an elf crab warrior. Wow, that was a freaking great draw there. So is there any way to get extra mana here? This is free. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, then... No, it's the same either way. The same either way. But we get to gain some life, so... We get to draw a card. We definitely get to do a little work next turn. Depending on what we draw. Still at 20. I guess Questing Beast is probably the worst thing to see, or an artifact removal. Oh, my eye itches. Just in case you guys wanted to know that. Okay, so fighting is fine. You really want to attack and then fight. This 3 mana really doesn't make a difference to us. Alright, so what do we get out of our sideboard here? I mean, we're gonna go looking. I think we just go get a God Pharaoh statue, right? Everything costs 2 more. Alright, so they can play a 4-drop here. Okay. They actually had Questing Beast. That's a fine hit for you, my friend. It is unfortunate you had that, because we were going to be able to get the lock going. But let's go ahead and draw. See what we draw here. Another Mind Stone. Ooh, Ugin. So Ugin is really good. Ugin is good. And the Mind Stone. We're gaining all of the life here. We are going, let's actually do this. We don't know if we really want to. But yeah, this is pretty insane. I think we're gonna take a draw here. That's free mana. This is, yeah, this is pretty nutso. This is pretty nutso. This is free. Play a land for the turn. We're at 39 life. that was an insane turn. That was insane. I just don't know how they can recover from here. They can play a 5-drop. Remember, all their spells cost an additional 2 mana. And then next turn, they're going to cost an additional 4 mana. That's fine. We don't actually need... I mean, that definitely makes all of our spells cheaper. But... we're going to block the heck out of your Questing Beast. That's the only spell you get to cast this turn. Yep. We get a land, and then we get to draw a card. Alright, well, actually, they can cast a 0. or a 1. Living the dream. We're gonna put that to the bottom. We don't really need that. We're gonna see how they defend this. Alright, well. Do we? I mean... play a couple cards here. We gotta off the top. Pretty nuts. Pretty nuts. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Good game. Gotta ride this wave, right? Of these two really crazy draws. That last game was sick. Martin Flores. Opponent goes first. Mulligan. This is a keeper. Oh, Karn is really... oh, we really need a land. Against elves. Get a land, we need a land. This deck falls apart without a third land. So mono green ramp, huh? Oh, we're back to where we were. Okay, you're gonna start making creatures. What is the ultimate on this? Oh, no ultimate. Well, we did not. Oh, and a Nissa. So they only have 3 land also. We're kind of okay with where we are. This is not the best draw, but... oh, we're not blocking. We really need a land here. Like, 100% need a land. No, I don't think you heard me, deck. We dead next turn. Yep. Without drawing a land, we have died. Gotta make them see it. Animate a land, swing in with everything. That's all it takes. All it takes. You don't even have to do anything. Animate a land, attack. So if we would have drawn a land that turn, that would have allowed us to play the Maze Mind Tome and actually gain 2 life and be just out of the kill range. Now we just have to hope that doesn't happen. Why? Why would you? Could have killed us. Oops. You literally could have killed us that turn. Now we have to figure out how to play this. And by figuring out how to... Oh, no, see, we can't even do this. This doesn't kill the lands. These are not colored, are colorless. So Ugin does not... It's because we go up to 5. What do we have in our sideboard? Probably nothing. Let's just see if they concede, right? Even though the lands don't die. So yeah, so if we would have drawn a land that last turn and this turn, we would have probably would have won based on their play style. But I can't really be upset with that. That was a good game. So looking at our sideboard in between games, we had access to 8 mana that turn against green. And we could have played Karn and went and looked in our sideboard, but we would not have had anything to do. Just nothing that could have saved us. It is good, though, that our opponent potentially gave us 1 extra turn to try to find an answer to their massive board, but yep, still was not good. Now we're going to keep this. This is pretty good. We get rid of... Crazy as it sounds, I think we're going to get rid of a land. And if this goes unchecked, that's pretty good. That might be the... Again, though, depending on what they're playing. So if this is another, like, mono green deck, maybe mono white we can get there against. We just don't want to see Mountain. We don't want to see Thoughtseize. Temple of Silence is iffy. But being able to at least get the Mind Stone down is relatively okay. 3-Bew, why would you do that? We were only a minute and a half into this game. Alright, well, on to the next one. Alright, heading into the next game. Pretty exciting. Pretty exciting stuff. Doing really well. Let's see. Alright, what do we think about this hand? I don't like that we only have a turn 3 play. Turn 3 into Forsaken Monument might be good. Let's just gain some life. Say go. We actually have a turn 2 play now, which is kind of good. God, Ugin seems good. If all of our stuff just goes unchecked. And that's, you know, obviously wishful thinking, but I mean, it does happen sometimes in worlds where like he doesn't have an instant here. So no Mortify, no Eliminate. I mean, maybe he wastes a Wrath here. Oh my gosh, it lived. We're gonna keep a land. Yeah, we need to get this down. Need to get that down. I can't believe that went unchecked. Oh, well. Luckily for us, we have another one. We should have drawn a card in response. That's just us being stupid. Oh, we're gonna scry. Alright, so if we play another one of these, this will leave us with 3 mana if we tap it that way, but then if we tap 1, 2, 3, we have 4 mana? Seems better. Into life. We are 100% going to draw a card if they despark again. Well, they did have another one. These sparks actually seem really good in Historic. Very surprised we don't see that played more. I mean, we're gonna Ugin now. We have access to 10 mana. I mean, Ugin. This is free. That's pretty good. We're gonna kill this vampire. Having an Ugin on top, it pretty much solidifies being able to do whatever we want. Double your life total. Okay. Seems pretty good. So they're definitely playing a veto deck. OMG. So how much mana do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we play this. We still have 10 mana. Oh, this is going to be sick. Oh, we don't have full control? Oh. Oh, man. Either way, pretty good. We were able to go through 2 D-Sparks, and yeah. Alright, yep. Yeah, so that last game went really, really well. And again, based on, you know, them not being able to interact. Turn 3. Again, if they can't interact with these... We need to get out a mirror, and then we have to divert our attention to Karn. Or if we draw a land, though, if we draw a land, might just be able to kill this Hollowed Priest. I wonder if they're playing Hollow Priest and the cat. The Pride Mate and the Priest. So much life gain. Healer's Hawk. Yep. And we're not blocking that. And I don't know why you think we would be. Land off the top is pretty good. Can we die? That's the question. Ugin kills the priest. I think we just go with this. No attacks. Okay. I'm gonna hover over it like I don't know what this does. Again, we know what this card does. Okay. Okay. We're at 5. And then our opponent concedes. That happens 100% of the time, right? They concede here, right? 100%. What's the most expensive card? 2? I mean, that was a fun game, right? Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. Sorry we had to do that to you, but our deck is built in such a way that we want to be doing that. So again, Ugin, still one of those cards. All right. This is technically the final boss. Looking good, looking good. Leonhardt or Lenhardt, 13. We're gonna mulligan because our hand cost 1 billion mana. This is way better. We're gonna keep, and man, I kind of want to put back the Maze Mind Tome, but I don't think we can. Gotta keep that land. That land gets us to Hedron Archive. Alright. This is mono white. Mono white life gain is a very heavily played deck right now for some reason. So, he was pretty good. All right, well. All right, best way to do this. 2, 3, 4, 5. So, I mean, I feel so bad for this deck sometimes. Your deck is very, very easily beat by Ugin. let's draw a card. Oh man, oh look. We're at 9. But I mean, we're about to Ugin for 3. You know, I really don't want our opponent to concede. So if we draw a card, 2, 4, 6, yeah, we still have plenty of mana. I mean, minus 3. They still have 2 cards in their hand, but it's still kind of... Yeah, I mean, how does a deck deal with Ugin, like a deck like that? You just can't put all your eggs in one basket. So I'm very, very sorry, my friend. All right, well, we had that one quick concession earlier, so we're going to give you the final boss in the form of Sinister. Or Sinistar. Had a hiccup there. We're going to keep, not the best hand, but we do have some ramp. They also have some ramp. Alright, we got a plan. That plan is Ugin. The plan is always Ugin. It's just crazy as the sets continue to come out colorless. The more artifacts and colorless cards they print, this colorless deck is just going to get stronger and stronger. So you're gonna have access to 2 more mana. All right, it's the red-green one. Yep. Oh, you did it. I mean, there's ever a time that you did it, it was then. So I think we go ahead and just play Mystic Forge here. Rada's pretty good off the top, right? Yep. Pretty good. You don't get to play any extra lands though, right? All right, we take 2. We're going to take 3 because we're going to put this away. Oh, perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. We want to play this first. Then we want to play this land. Land 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Don't really want that. All right, so I mean, you can see how powerful colorless can be. It's all right. What are you gonna do to us? Okay, I mean, you could give it +4. It is for 9. But I mean, we're gonna Ulamog next turn. Okay, so far 3 is the tops. 3 is still the tops. All right, well, we can't sack the Mind Stone like I wanted to because we have exactly 8 mana. If we had 9 mana, we would. Oh man. Oh. Or 5. Don't have enough. So we'll just do this for 3. I'm sorry, my friend. But we have to do what our deck is. I hope they actually can kill Ugin this turn, like a questing beast or something. Oh, double stomp? Double stomp is cool. Okay, I see what. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So. Gain a little bit of life. Okay, so they definitely get to kill Ugin, which is good because that's gonna make this seem like it's a little bit more of a game, but then in reality we know. If they couldn't kill this, the game would have just been over. Alright, so we are going to get rid of our land. Oh, that's a good hit too. So, we're going to hold full control. We're going to cast this. We're going to auto pay. Target, target. Submit. We're going to auto pay for that. Target. Target. Good game. Double Ulamog trigger is sick. Oh, and we just get to cast this thing? Oh, man. What a time to be alive, folks. What a time to be alive. Holy moly. Alright, guys. That was a sick run with this deck. This deck is really powerful, and I'm so glad that we got to showcase this. We got some really good draws. Yeah, we did lose one game, but we went 7-1. We actually got to play a bonus game because one of our opponents conceded like a minute and a half in, whenever we just played I think we just played a Mind Stone and then they conceded. So that was kind of ridiculous. So we got to play an extra game and get in a final boss because, again, the princess was in another castle and we got to just finally find Bowser and get the job done. So I'm really excited. This deck is super powerful. We had multiple games where we had Forsaken Monument in play with the engine, with the Mystic Forge, with Ugin, and we were just going crazy, crazy, crazy. We had multiple games where we just ramped out an Ugin and used Ugin, and the game ended because Ugin is so backbreaking when your opponent commits everything onto the board to try to end the game. Because that's really what you're trying to do. You're trying to get all your card, not necessarily, but you're trying to get all your combo pieces or all of your pieces of the puzzle out on the board and put them all together to end your opponent. And I mean, we're trying to do the same thing, just in a different form and fashion. So we're trying to get all of our pieces down, and luckily for us, that one card in Ugin actually does just get the job done, and it just ends the game, and it is just so hard to recover. So, and there is a little bit of a glitch visually. There is more than one Ugin in the deck. I do want to show you. There are actually 3 Ugins, not just one. So this is a visual bug. I did rewatch the intro that I made and saw that I forgot to hit on how many Ugins we were playing. So 3 Ugins, 3 Ulamogs. You need these big payoffs. You do want to draw them. You don't want to draw them in multiples usually. Sometimes you do if they can deal with one. But yeah, this deck is super powerful. I recommend it if you have the wild cards, or you've opened these cards already and you're wanting to spend those wild cards. This is a very, very expensive deck to build. You have essentially 16 rares in the lands, which I can't necessarily recommend building or crafting, because these are really not going to be good in a deck that's not playing colorless usually. These can easily, though, be replaced with basics, but or you can find replaceable uncommon lands that tap for colorless, because again, it is very key that your lands tap for colorless, because if you start putting in swamps or islands, you're not going to get the bonus mana from the Forsaken Monument, which is super key in this deck. So there are uncommon lands that do tap for colorless mana, but again, you're not going to get the really good utility that you're going to get from the rare lands that do that, except for obviously Radiant Fountain for the life gain and the Zhalfirin Void for the scrying. So again, I do recommend this deck if you're close to building it. With the how expensive it is to build, I don't necessarily recommend it, just because I don't like to recommend just crazy decks that you may not like playing or may not be familiar, because you have to take in all this to consideration. You also have to consider that you have to have a sideboard as well, because you're playing Karn, and Karn is pretty important to the deck. So if you've been following this whole chain of colorless decks that we've played throughout our channel, and you've been crafting them along the way, you're probably not too far off with having this. So in that case, then I recommend building it. But again, I hope you enjoyed the channel or the video as much as we enjoyed playing this deck. This deck was a lot of fun. And again, thank you so much to our new patron, Gangsta Chicken. Look forward to seeing you in the Discord and hanging out with you and just throwing ideas back and forth. And that goes for not just the patrons, but anybody who joins the Discord. I love bouncing ideas. Anybody in the Discord will tell you that I've played, so many different deck suggestions that it's just great to have a growing community where everybody is just here to have a good time, and that is what's important to me. So with that being said, if you enjoy the video, please hit that subscribe button, that like button. Please hit the bell icon. Please share the video with your friends. Let's get the word out that we are growing and we are not stopping. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know you made it to the end of the video. That is super important. I love knowing and I love hearing when people have made it to the end of the video. And also, please check out all the links down below, and that includes that Discord link that I was just talking about. So crazy run, guys. Always enjoy playing these decks for you. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you stay safe, and we will see you next time. Remember, this channel would not exist without such amazing viewers and subscribers. Thank you so much for interacting with the channel and helping grow the community. And a very big special thank you to the Patreons listed here for supporting the channel.